I get contacted a lot by owners where their dog, their puppy, isn't comfortable being picked up. Now, it's really, really important that dogs have a positive association to hands coming towards them and that they have a positive association to being picked up. Of course, it could be a lifesaver, but it's going to take so much stress out of grooming, going to the vets, and just general day-to-day stuff. So, we want to be teaching a positive association. We're going to go through step by step by step. You can't rush this exercise, but once you teach it properly, you don't have to go backwards and revise things. I'm going to show you on the video the tiny little slithers and the layers, and it's important that you don't move on to the next stage until you see signs of what's called a positive CER. That means a positive conditioned emotional response. It's basically going to mean when I say load up, you can see the dog go, good news, bring it on, Steve. And we know then we can go on to the next step. Teach it slowly. I was always taught as a apprentice dog trainer, the quickest way for a dog to learn is slowly. And that just means tiny little slithers of information. Watch the video, enjoy Nancy, she's a killer, and then copy. Okay, I get countless emails from owners that have puppies or older but smaller dogs that aren't happy being picked up, which can cause a lot of stress. A lot of stress for owners, a lot of stress for the dogs. It's really, really important that dogs see hands coming towards them as predicting good news, not bad news. And it could be a lifesaver for you to be able to comfortably pick up your dog. World, meet Nancy. This is Nancy. She was a little stray. She was caught by the dog warden running around the services at the M25. So she didn't have a very good experience with people trying to grab her when she was running around as a little stray. When she first come and started to live with me, there was no way I could pick her up. So I had to start from scratch, and what I did was, with as little pressure as possible, when Nancy was chilled, I would just touch her chest, with her 4 feet on the floor, touch her chest, feed her while my palm of my hand was on her chest, remove my hand, stop the food. Touch her chest, feed her when my hand was by her chest, remove my hand, stop the food. With enough repetition that I could get to the position where I could just touch her chest and I would see a positive conditioned emotional response. She would wag her tail, she would look expectant, knowing that food is just around the corner. Then I would raise the criteria to touching her chest and just putting a little bit of pressure, lifting my hand maybe 1 centimetre. Still her 4 feet on the floor, but she could feel the pressure on her chest. Again, I would feed her in that position, remove my hand, stop the food. Next stage after that, I would put down my hand and say, load up. She would come and put her chest on my hand, from Nancy's point of view, in order to make me feed her. Her attitude was, how can I make this monkey feed me? Oh, it's when I put my chest on his hands. Then we could mature on to, I would put down my hand, say load up. She would put her chest, stand in situ. I'd lift her up like a forklift truck, feed, 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 put her back down again. So the important thing is to do it in very, very thin layers. Don't move to the next stage until you see a nice conditioned emotional response that she's happy and ready to move on to the next stage. And certainly don't go grabbing her, or certainly don't go giving her the cue to load up, maybe at the vets or groomers, until you know she's perfectly happy with that cue and that position. So just a quick little demo, which is the final stage that you're going to be working towards, is Nancy on the ground, hand down, load up. She comes into situ, I lift her up. When you're practicing, have food in several different stations around the house. That way she's not going to be focused, it's when I'm near this table I get food. I want her to learn that it's when my hand is on her chest she gets food. So sometimes reinforce from my right hand side, load up, good gal. And then sometimes have a sneaky little stash elsewhere. Good gal. We'll try one more for luck. Load up. Good gal. Tiny little slithers. Keep it positive. Don't rush. Oh, and then your dog will be desperate to get up into your hands. Come on then.